The power of emotional mastery in modern relationships. In today's fast-paced world, where digital interactions dominate our connections, emotional resilience has become a critical skill. Relationships, especially romantic ones, are often riddled with unspoken dynamics, hidden expectations, and subtle tests that can challenge even the most confident individuals. It's not uncommon to find yourself in a situation where someone you care about, perhaps a romantic interest, starts ignoring you. This can feel like an emotional gut punch, triggering a cascade of overthinking, self-doubt, and even a sense of rejection. But what if I told you this scenario isn't just a test of your patience? It's an opportunity for growth, self-mastery, and personal power? What if this challenge could be transformed into a moment where you rediscover your inner strength, realign your focus, and elevate your emotional intelligence? This isn't about playing games or engaging in manipulative tactics to win someone over. Instead, it's about adopting a philosophy of life that allows you to navigate such situations with grace, confidence, and purpose. That philosophy is Stoicism, a school of thought from ancient Greece that teaches us how to maintain tranquility and control in the face of external chaos. The emotional trap of modern dating. Imagine this. You've just had a great conversation or a fantastic date with someone. Everything seems to be going well, until it's not. Suddenly, the person stops replying to your texts, ignores your calls, and seemingly disappears. You see them active on social media, interacting with others, but your messages remain unanswered. This silence feels like rejection. Your mind starts racing. What did I do wrong? Was I too eager? Did I say something off-putting? You replay every interaction in your head, searching for clues. The emotional turmoil can be overwhelming, leaving you feeling powerless. This scenario is far more common than we'd like to admit, and it's not just limited to romantic relationships. It could happen with friends, colleagues, or even family members. The underlying emotional trigger is the same, an intense need for validation and a fear of losing connection. But here's the truth that most people overlook. When someone ignores you, it often says more about them than it does about you. And how you respond to their behavior reveals the level of control you have over your own emotions. What Stoicism can teach us about emotional resilience. Stoicism, a philosophy embraced by ancient thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, offers timeless wisdom that is incredibly relevant to these modern challenges. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. When applied to the realm of relationships, this principle becomes a game changer. You cannot control how someone else feels about you, how they choose to act, or whether they decide to ignore you. However, you have full control over your reaction, your mindset, and the narrative you build around the situation. For example, instead of spiraling into self-doubt and insecurity, a Stoic approach would encourage you to see the silence as an opportunity, to redirect your energy towards self-improvement, to strengthen your emotional resilience, to detach your sense of self-worth from external validation. In essence, the goal isn't to win the person back, but to reclaim your own power and become the best version of yourself. Someone who is grounded, confident, and emotionally self-sufficient. Reclaiming your power. The path to emotional freedom. The first step in navigating these emotional challenges is to shift your perspective. Instead of viewing the situation as a rejection, consider it a test of your emotional strength. This isn't about proving anything to the other person. It's about proving to yourself that you can rise above external circumstances and maintain your inner peace. Let me share a quick story to illustrate this point. A close friend of mine, let's call him David, recently went through a similar experience. He had been dating someone he genuinely liked, and after a few great dates, she started pulling away. At first, he panicked, sending multiple texts and asking what went wrong. Her silence only deepened, and David found himself stuck in a loop of anxiety and self-doubt. That's when he decided to approach the situation differently. Drawing inspiration from Stoic principles, David stopped chasing her and redirected his focus. He started going to the gym regularly, picked up a new hobby he'd been putting off, and began reconnecting with old friends. He made a conscious effort to invest in his own growth rather than seeking validation from someone else. The result? Not only did David feel more confident and empowered, But his newfound energy and self-assuredness also caught the attention of his romantic interest. She eventually reached out, curious about the shift in his demeanor, but by then, David had already realized that his happiness didn't hinge on her response. He had reclaimed his power. Why this video is a must-watch. In this video, we'll explore how you can take control of your emotions and turn situations of rejection or silence into opportunities for growth. We'll break down the key principles of Stoicism and show you how to apply them to modern relationships. You'll learn why people test boundaries and how to interpret their behavior, the importance of focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't, practical steps to build emotional resilience and regain your confidence, how to use the power of detachment to maintain your inner peace. By the end of this video, you won't just have a better understanding of how to handle being ignored. You'll have the tools to transform your approach to relationships and life itself. This isn't just about dealing with one situation. It's about developing a mindset that empowers you to navigate any challenge with grace and strength. So let's dive in and unlock the power of emotional mastery together. Understanding and harnessing the power of Stoicism. As we delve deeper into the journey of exploring the psychology and philosophy of Stoicism, one thing must be emphasized from the start. Stoicism is not about apathy or emotional detachment. It's the subtle art of self-mastery in every situation. This becomes especially vital when dealing with someone's silence or indifference, a situation that can easily unsettle even the strongest of us. Let's begin with a question. Why does someone's silence disturb you so much? It's not just because you expect a response from them. On a deeper level, it touches upon fears of rejection, feelings of losing control, or worse, the doubts about your self-worth. Stoicism not only helps you overcome these negative emotions, but transforms them into inner strength. 1. The Stoic secret. Understanding what's within your control. Stoic philosophy teaches that life is divided into two parts: what you can control and what you cannot. What you cannot control, how others feel, think, or act toward you. For instance, when someone doesn't reply to your message, it's beyond your power. What you can control, your thoughts, emotions, and reactions. This is the core of your strength. Imagine a specific scenario. You've just sent a message to someone you like, and they don't reply. You sit there waiting, checking your phone repeatedly, and gradually feel restless. This is where Stoicism comes into play. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor of Rome, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Instead of clinging to someone else's silence, focus on what you can do to elevate your own value. 2. Redirecting your mind, the power of self-investment. When you feel abandoned or ignored, disappointment can quickly take over. But instead of letting that feeling dominate, you can choose to redirect your energy into self-improvement. A real-life example: a man, after being ignored by a woman he liked, spent that time starting a business project he had been putting off. Instead of wasting hours waiting for a message, he turned the silence into motivation for success. A few months later, not only had his confidence improved, but the same woman was drawn back to him because of his newfound accomplishments. Modern psychology also supports this notion. Studies reveal that when we shift focus away from others and towards self-improvement, our happiness and confidence levels rise significantly. Remember, investing in yourself not only helps you overcome silence, but also makes you more attractive in the eyes of others. 3. Do not chase, the allure of calmness. When ignored by someone, most people's natural reaction is to chase or seek clarification. But Stoicism advises, never chase. Maintain your composure instead. This doesn't mean appearing cold or indifferent. Rather, it means demonstrating your confidence and self-worth by not letting others' actions dictate your value. Here's an interesting story. A man once found himself ignored by his girlfriend after an argument. Instead of bombarding her with texts or pleading for attention, he chose to channel his energy into daily gym workouts, learning a new skill, and spending time with friends. Weeks later, she reached out, curious about his transformation. This happened not because her feelings changed overnight, but because his calmness made her realize his true worth. 4. Reverse psychology, the power of letting go. This is a powerful psychological principle. When you stop chasing and let go, you naturally create curiosity in the other person. They start wondering, why isn't he trying anymore? Has he found something more important than me? This isn't about playing mind games, but about affirming that you're not dependent on anyone's validation. A Stoic lesson to remember. When you hold on to your value, no one can hurt you. Letting go doesn't just help you regain control, but also makes others realize you cannot be manipulated. 5. Detach yourself from the outcome. Finally, and most importantly in Stoic philosophy, you must learn to detach yourself from the outcome. You won't always get what you want, but that doesn't diminish your worth. When someone ignores you, it's not a reflection of your inadequacy. It often has more to do with their circumstances, emotions, or personal goals. Things completely beyond your control. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within your control and some things are not. Focus on developing yourself rather than tying all your emotions to someone else's response." Incorporating a personal, heartwarming story. A young man was once abruptly abandoned by his girlfriend. Instead of drowning in sorrow, he chose to transform his life by focusing on his career. He learned new skills, achieved significant milestones, and a few years later, the same girlfriend reached out, seeking to reconnect. By then, he had become a stronger, more confident individual who no longer relied on her validation. This story illustrates that when you reclaim your power by mastering your emotions, you don't just improve yourself, you also change how others perceive you. The final lesson in the journey of growth. We've journeyed through the profound philosophy of Stoicism, learning how to face silence, indifference, and negativity from others. Now I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself, am I living according to my own values, or am I letting others' emotions and actions dictate my life? First core lesson, be the master of yourself. Stoicism isn't about avoidance. It's about living proactively. It reminds you of two fundamental truths. You cannot control others. Their silence does not define your worth. People have their own reasons, often ones you'll never understand, for their actions. But you always control yourself. This is your true power. You can choose to respond calmly, focus your energy on self-growth, and refuse to let anyone destabilize you. 2. Action over waiting. Waiting, hoping for someone else's response, will always drag you down. Action, however, even small steps like exercising, learning a new skill, or spending time with loved ones can change everything. Ask yourself, what if no one responds to me? Then what? What can I do to make my life meaningful regardless of them? The answers will not only provide clarity, but also fuel your journey forward. 3. Finding meaning in silence. A Stoic sees silence not as a punishment, but as a teacher. They ask themselves, what lesson is this silence trying to teach me? Perhaps it's reminding you that you've become too dependent on external validation. Maybe it's encouraging you to walk away from unhealthy relationships. Or it could simply be teaching you that stillness is an inevitable part of life, and within it lies peace. 4. True freedom. Let go of the need for validation. We often become trapped in the pursuit of others' approval, but true freedom lies in breaking free from that need. Remember, their silence never defines you. How you handle it does. Epictetus once said, "No one can harm you unless you allow it. So why give others the power to disrupt your peace?" A story to inspire. A young woman once shared her story of heartbreak. Her boyfriend of 5 years left her without a word, disappearing without explanation. Rather than succumbing to despair, she decided to turn her pain into strength. She began attending yoga classes, focusing on mental health, and wrote a book about her healing journey. That book not only transformed her life, but also inspired thousands of readers. Years later, her ex-boyfriend reached out, admitting he made a grave mistake by leaving her. By then, however, she no longer felt anger or longing. She had grown beyond the pain and found her true strength within. 6. A practical action plan, applying Stoicism daily. To truly live by Stoic principles, take actionable steps every day. Here are some ideas. Acknowledge your emotions without judgment. When you feel hurt by someone's silence, take a moment to write down your feelings. This helps release and understand them. Focus on what you can control. Set small, achievable daily goals and commit to them. Over time, you'll find yourself less affected by others' actions. Practice gratitude. Each day, think of 3 things you're thankful for, no matter how small. Embrace stillness. Spend a few moments each day in silence, meditating, or simply breathing. Silence isn't the enemy. It's a teacher. 7. A final call to strength. The silence of others might make you feel alone, but it's not the end. Instead, it's the beginning of a journey toward becoming stronger, more independent, and freer. Remember, no one defines you except yourself. Master your emotions, own your life, and you'll find peace even in the most challenging moments. As Marcus Aurelius said, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself but to your estimate of it, and you have the power to revoke this at any moment. You are stronger than you think. The answers don't lie in others' silence. They lie in how you choose to respond to it. If this message resonates with you, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video to show your support. Share it with someone who might need this reminder today. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights on Stoicism, self-growth, and finding your inner peace. Thank you for watching, and remember, your strength lies within. Keep growing, keep thriving, and I'll see you in the next video.